Martin Luther King Jr. was born in Atlanta, Georgia, in 1929. This was a time when life was very different for black people in America. They faced unfair laws and discrimination because of the color of their skin. This meant they were treated poorly and denied basic rights. Black people couldn't go to the same schools, eat in the same restaurants, or even drink from the same water fountains as white people. Martin experienced this injustice firsthand. He saw white-only signs everywhere he went. He wasn't allowed to play with certain children because of the color of his skin. These experiences made him sad and angry. He knew this wasn't right. Even going to the park was difficult. He couldn't understand why things were this way. Why were people treated differently because of their skin color? These early experiences stayed with Martin. They made him determined to fight for equality and justice for all people. He believed everyone deserved to be treated with respect and dignity, no matter their race. As Martin grew older, he learned about peaceful ways to fight for change. He was inspired by Mahatma Gandhi, who used nonviolence to fight for India's independence. Martin believed in the power of love and peace to overcome hate and injustice. He knew that violence was never the answer. After finishing school, Martin became a pastor. He wanted to serve his community and help people. He knew he could use his voice to speak out against the unfair treatment of black people. One day, a woman named Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat on a bus to a white man. This brave act sparked the Montgomery bus boycott. Martin became a leader of the boycott, encouraging people to walk, cycle, or carpool instead of riding the buses. The boycott lasted for over a year. It was hard for everyone, but they stood together. Finally, the law changed, and black people were allowed to sit wherever they wanted on buses. This victory showed the power of peaceful protest and made Martin a national leader in the fight for civil rights. In 1963, Martin gave his most famous speech at the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. Over 250,000 people gathered to hear him speak. It was a hot summer day, but the crowd was filled with hope and anticipation. Standing tall and proud, Martin shared his dream of a better future. He spoke of a day when his children would be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. His words resonated with the crowd, their voices rising in unison as they called for freedom and equality. He said, "I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal." His powerful words echoed across the National Mall, reaching every corner of the nation and etching themselves into the annals of history. The "I Have a Dream" speech became a defining moment in the civil rights movement. It gave hope to millions and inspired them to continue fighting for equality. Even today, his words continue to resonate, reminding us of the power of dreams and the importance of fighting for a just world. Section 4. Victories Hard Won. Triumphs of the Civil Rights Movement. Martin Luther King Jr. and the Civil Rights Movement achieved significant victories. Their peaceful protests and unwavering determination led to the passage of important laws that changed America forever. One such victory was the Civil Rights Act of 1964. This law outlawed discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. It meant that everyone, regardless of their background, would have equal opportunities in education, employment, and public accommodations. Another major achievement was the Voting Rights Act of 1965. This law removed barriers that prevented black people from exercising their right to vote. For far too long, they had been denied this fundamental right through discriminatory practices like literacy tests and poll taxes. The Voting Rights Act ensured that all citizens, regardless of their race, could participate in the democratic process. These legislative victories were hard-won, achieved through years of struggle and sacrifice. But they marked a turning point in American history, bringing the nation closer to fulfilling its promise of equality and justice for all. him on a human level. Section 6, A Legacy of Hope, Martin Luther King Jr., today. Even though Martin Luther King Jr. is no longer with us, his message of love, equality, and justice continues to resonate deeply in the world today. We celebrate his birthday every year as a national holiday, remembering his sacrifices and the progress that has been made in the fight for civil rights. However, the dream he so eloquently articulated is not yet fully realized. We still see instances of discrimination, inequality, and injustice in our world. People are still judged by the color of their skin, their religion, or their sexual orientation. That's why Martin Luther King Jr.'s legacy is more important than ever. His teachings remind us that we must never take our freedoms for granted and that the fight for equality is an ongoing journey. Section 7. Keeping the Dream Alive, Our Part to Play. Each of us has a role to play in keeping Martin Luther King Jr.'s dream alive. We can start by treating everyone with kindness and respect regardless of their differences. We can speak out against injustice and discrimination whenever we see it. We can learn about different cultures and perspectives, challenging our own biases and prejudices. We can support organizations that are working to promote equality and justice in our communities and around the world. By embracing Dr. King's message of love, compassion, and understanding, we can create a more just and equitable world for ourselves and for generations to come. Let us honor his legacy by working together to build a brighter future, where everyone has the opportunity to reach their full potential and live in a world free from hate and discrimination.